everyone. I'm Robyn Grable, the founder of Talents Ascend and the Ascend Collective, and your host for Ascending Beyond Barriers. Welcome. Ascending Beyond Barriers is an inspiring podcast dedicated to showcasing the remarkable journeys of small business founders who have faced and overcome significant challenges on their path to success. Each episode delves into the personal stories of entrepreneurs from diverse backgrounds, highlighting their unique experiences, struggles, and triumphs. Truly honored today to welcome Belle-Lyssa Crawford. She is a board member of the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame, a distinguished nonprofit whose mission is to honor men and women of prior military service who exemplify great character while working to prevent veteran homelessness, reduce veteran suicide, and preserve their legacies. The Hall also educates the public about veteran sacrifices and advocates for their ongoing well-being. With more than 25 years of experience as a mental fitness coach and mental strategist, Belle-Lyssa brings a distinctive blend of neuroscience-based strategies, emotional intelligence, and leadership insight to the Hall's board. Her work directly supports the organization's mission to honor veterans while addressing the urgent challenges many face after service, including housing insecurity and mental health struggles. Belle-Lyssa, thank you so much for being here. It's so great to meet you and honored. I was getting so excited as I was reading, which I typically do as I read these intros. I get so excited that I mess up the words, but just thank you for being here. Just first of all, tell us how you got involved with the board, because we're going to talk about the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame. Absolutely phenomenal mission. But how did you get involved with them?
Thank you so much, Robyn, and thank you for such a wonderful introduction. I'm honored and blessed. It's an interesting story. I've been a solopreneur most of my coaching life.
Wow.
And I was praying to be part of a bigger family, a bigger mission, a bigger purpose. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, not really out of the blue because it was in perfect alignment, someone reached out to me on Facebook, a financial planner. His name was Dennis Green. We've become very, very close friends. And he said, let's have a conversation and see how we connect. I'd love to know more about what you do, and I'd love to share more about what you do. And as we were talking, he shared his history, and he has an amazing, amazing story. He'd be a wonderful guest as well.
I love that.
I'll actually share a little bit about him after we meet today. And as we were talking, we realized that what the conversation was about was that he was, at the time, he no longer is, but he was a member of the board of directors of the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame. And when I told him what I did as a mental fitness coach, and I told him how I got really passionate about what I do, about suicide prevention as well, because I had a biological brother who committed suicide. He was not in the military, but he was a first responder, and it was a shock.
Yeah.
18 years this February will be the anniversary of his passing, left behind 2 children.
Oh my God.
And we started talking about that. And he said, the world needs more of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I have something I think you might be interested in. We'd be honored to talk to you. I'd like you to entertain, possibly being connected to the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame. And one thing led to another, and we were tearful. And one thing led to another, and he introduced me to Brother Curtis Drafton. And we've become beautiful friends.
Yeah.
Really felt a soul alignment, a deep calling to connect with something bigger, to really make a difference.
Right.
And I didn't know where it was going to come from. I just knew that was the answer to my prayers, my intentions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so
I love that
up.
because that happened to me. It's like you put that out in the universe. It's like, okay, it just happened a couple of weeks ago. I said, I need this. I went to an event, met somebody, another Navy veteran who does exactly what I need to have done. I was like, okay, I'm going to start putting that positive energy out there more. But so your business, And I kind of cut you off. Hopefully, you were going to start to talk about your business, your mental fitness coaching. Like what is that? And tell us about that. And then we're going to get back to the Hall of Fame because I want to hear more about Curtis and the
Sure.
organization. But tell us about your business.
As someone who struggled with anxiety and depression and even suicidal ideation at times,
Mm.
as a teenager growing up, I I knew that the thoughts that I had in my mind were damaging
Yeah.
my existence, crushing my self-esteem. I felt like I had 10,000 thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
I was riddled with anxiety. I had beautiful parents. I was adopted from birth,
Aw.
and my parents were amazing, but they had no idea
Yeah.
how to deal with emotions and anxiety, and they struggled as well.
Oh.
And our brains are wired for survival.
Yeah.
They're wired. And I learned how to rewire my mind. My first position as a coach was with Nightingale Conant Corporation, and I worked with Tony Robbins and Zig
Oh,
Ziglar and Brian Tracy and Mark Victor
nice.
Hansen and Sonia Choquette. I mean, all of the people.
Yeah.
And I got the most amazing training and I had the most amazing clients. And then I went out on my own, and then I met Bob Proctor, who produced The
Oh,
Secret. I was one of the first 50 people in the world to study how to coach people on that concept. Our
yeah.
thoughts become our reality, and what we focus on expands.
Yes, they do.
And I knew that people have so many things going on in their minds.
Yeah.
They don't often share. They don't know what to do with it. There's a lot of shame around it. There's a lot of confusion. And I had been doing therapy with children at the time, and there were some issues with funding. My position was safe, but I decided maybe now's a good time for me to go out on my own and reinvent myself. And I became a coach. I was trained in solution focused therapy, where we deal with strategies and solutions. I think there's a place for insight oriented therapy, but I think moreover, people are looking for strategies. How do I?
Yeah.
And so I developed a program that I actually trademarked in 2005. It's called the Intentionability Method, how to stop overthinking your life away. And I give real science-based backed neuroscience strategies and techniques, from breathing techniques to how to rewire your brain in real time, how to rewrite your story so that you're in control of your mind. And if you have control of your mind, you can improve everything in your life. You can set goals and you can accomplish them. You can work through things in your mind without feeling like you're going to battle with yourself. And so beyond that, I really felt that suicide prevention is really at the crux of it. Because if you can connect with someone and build a rapport, and that happens to be something that I was gifted with, just the gift of gab, I guess, and also being able to listen and connect. I'm
Yeah.
very intuitive. I really feel my work is very led and connected. And oftentimes I help people uncover blocks that they don't even know are there. And I think when it comes to veterans and all first responders, they're experiencing things in their minds that I might not have any relatability. However,
Sure.
what I can offer them is a safe place, emotional safety, to help them identify what's blocking them. How are they maybe self-sabotaging themselves with their thoughts? How
Yeah.
is their mind not a safe place? Because if your mind isn't a safe place, the world isn't a safe place.
Sadly. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot there. So yeah, first of all, I grew up wanting to be a child psychologist because I had a very tumultuous childhood and I wanted to be someone who would help save children, and help people, help other kids that were going through things like I was, to be safe. And I think I didn't get to be a child psychologist. I did get my master's in psychology, so I kind of use it now in what I do, in helping people identify their skills and helping people be proud of their skills and talk about their skills and all of that. But it's so true that you can get in your head, and I went through that experience while I was in the Navy, going through a really rough time. And just the voices in your head can just be so powerful. And I've learned over the years to turn the negative power into positive power. And every time I hear something say to me, "You're not good enough," or you're this isn't going right, like, nope, I'm going to focus on what is going right, what is good in my life, and what, so, but it's not easy. So as you were talking, I'm thinking, this sounds so easy to do, but it's not. It is not. How do you help your clients get over that aspect of it? Because especially as veterans, we're tough. We're taught to be resilient. We're taught to just battle through whatever it is we're doing. So how do you help someone reverse that thought in their head that I've got to know all the answers. I've got to do it all right. And it's okay to not be so strong.
Yeah. Great question. At the foundation, the core of it is doing something what I call a mental reset. And I teach mental fitness strategies. The Navy SEALs have used breathing techniques to do this, what I'm about to share. Sure. And when I mentioned that we are wired for survival, fight or flight, and that's what happens in the military. You're wired to be hypervigilant, on guard all the time. Yeah. You're constantly. And so how do you not do that?
Right?
How do you not do that when you're spending time with your family and your friends, or just trying to sleep, just going to the 4th of July or whatever normal activities that people do, right? Yeah. How do you learn how to do that? Yeah. So here's what it is. It's allowing people to do a quick mental fitness strategy, and I'll share a couple of them with you that are very, very simple to allow you, after doing it for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, to move into another part of your brain. Wow. So that you are no longer in fight or flight. I teach people how to respond instead of react. Yes. Because when you are reacting, you're dumping in chemicals. You're dumping in cortisol and adrenaline and hormones, and it affects your immune system. It clouds your judgment. It clouds your thinking. Sometimes people are even having a trauma response. Sure. So they're not able to think clearly. They're not able to make what I call highest and best decisions. So by helping teach people how to move into another part of their brain very quickly, what I call the power brain, so that they can navigate challenges, they can be creative, they can access that part of their brain that sees solutions, that has hope, that sees possibility. Yeah. And it's crucial. It can prevent someone from getting in the black hole of depression, where they've cut themselves off, they've shut down. And unfortunately, most people who have suicidal ideations, they're not going to tell you. My brother sent a text into his coworkers, which were police officers, and said, "Don't come into work." He went into the parking lot at the police station and shot himself in the car. Oh my God. That was it. No, nothing. And there was such a stigma, that no one knew about the suicide except his close friends. They thought he had a heart attack. People were asking me in the receiving line at the funeral, how did he die? Nobody knew. It wasn't public information. It's only been in recent years now that they're talking about it. And so, and at the crux of that, I think, I'm going to digress a little bit, the shame. There was shame. He was dealing with financial stress. His house had gone into foreclosure. He was dealing with child custody issues. So much stress. And so I talk about vibration, and I can tell you're very spiritual and you use the term universe. And so what I'm going to talk about is vibrations. And then I'm going to teach you a mental fitness exercise that you can do anytime, any place, anywhere. And any of your guests can do them. Yes. So because vibration is really important. So you ever walk into a room and you meet someone and you just feel drawn to them because they have this energy, they have this light around them. You seem like that kind of a person.
Yes. Yes.
And they're vibrating at a high level. Their cells are vibrating at a high level. They're not experiencing doubt, fear, worry, shame, overwhelm, all those things, anxiety. people who vibrate at a lower level struggle to even survive, let alone thrive.
Sure.
And so what these mental fitness exercises do is help you shift into a higher vibration so you can make good decisions. You're not making them from shame, guilt, doubt, fear, worry. Don't want to make those decisions from doubt, fear, shame, and worry, because they won't be what's highest and best.
Right.
So real quick, I'm going
Okay.
to teach you a Navy SEAL technique that's very,
Ooh.
very interesting.
Yay.
It's really fun. So this is different. And then I'll give you some mental fitness exercises. But this first one, literally, you can do this for 30 seconds.
Wow.
And it is going to shift your brain immediately. Sharpshooters use it. Navy SEALs use it. What you're going to do is you're going to close off your right nostril. I know, different. And you're going to breathe just through your left for about 30 seconds. It's about 15 breaths in and out. We'll do a couple more. What that does, and the reason I love this so much, is because it helps you move into the other part of your brain so that you are responding instead of reacting. It helps your parasympathetic nervous system not get triggered so that your reptilian brain isn't saying, I got to fix this. I'm in panic mode. I got to do something right now. It helps that. It helps you shift instantly. So if somebody's having a confrontation or having a panic attack, people can't see panic attacks.
No.
People have panic attacks all the time, and we don't know why.
No.
They're pulling back. We don't know why they're looking nervous or anxious. We don't know what's going on. This can be the scariest place in the world. So that's a very, very simple one. And there's also box breathing. So I won't demonstrate that, but I'll just tell people how to do it. Breathe in for, you can use 4 or 5 counts. Breathe in for 4 counts. Hold it for 4 counts. And then let it go for 4 counts. Do that for 4 minutes. It's amazingly powerful. It's a grief technique too, to help you move out of that grief because it's raising your vibration. The more, and not to get real scientific or bring in lots of neuroscience, but it's scientifically proven to help you train yourself to respond. The key to doing this, and I'm about to teach you a mental fitness exercise also, the key to doing this is not just to do it when you're having an issue. The key to doing it is throughout the day. I'm going to give you a prescription because it's just like fitness. That's why I love the term mental fitness. It's just like working out. I'm not going to get a bicep by looking in the mirror and watching myself do an exercise. I am going to get one. I'm going to build a muscle because I'm going to the gym on Friday, and I'll probably look in the mirror and see, is it there yet? Is it there? Wait, did I get it? And
Correct.
So what you want to do is you want to rewire your default.
Okay.
What I'm talking about, why this is so crucial and important, and it's based on scientific evidence, because you are rewiring your neural pathways, especially for people who have trauma.
Yeah.
So doing them first thing in the morning when you're in that twilight state, before you even get up out of bed. And then doing it mid-morning, doing it mid-afternoon, in the evening, dinner time, and just before bed is crucial. And the reason that, and I'm going to give you the strategy in a second, the reason that it's so important to set aside these 2 minutes throughout the day, it just takes 2 minutes, especially before bed, because our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real or imagined. That's why when people have a panic attack, they really feel like something terrible is happening. Yeah. The impending doom. Even doom scrolling can do it. That's a new term, right? Doom scrolling. The commercials that people hear, what are the commercials that people are hearing and taking in? But also, what are the commercials that are running inside their minds? So those things can create anxiety too. So doing these throughout the day. And here's a really, really, really simple mental fitness exercise.
Okay.
Just simply taking your fingertips and rubbing them together, focusing on that one sense. So you're just using your tactile sense for 2 minutes, just feeling the ridges, feeling the tension, feeling the pressure, all of those things for 2 minutes throughout the day. Another thing that you can do, this is an aromatherapy. You can also use essential oils to help you as well.
Sure.
So I have these scented, you can do anything. You could even use a lemon out of your fridge.
Wow.
You could also just observe this and look at this. Look at the colors. Look at how iridescent it is. Look
Yeah.
at the gold in the middle. It's not quite halfway. Look how smooth it is. Just observe it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
The other one that you can do is listen to the furthest sound in the distance. Try it with me here. We've been talking for a minute, so we've been listening to the sound of our voices, mostly mine over the last few minutes. But listen to the sound in the distance. Just observe it. I'm hearing a fan in the background.
I hear the humming of my refrigerator.
There you go. And you didn't hear that before.
Yeah.
So listening to that, one sense. So you're using one of your senses. Then listen to the closest sound that you can hear. This is a very powerful grounding exercise. It could even be the sound of my voice or the sound of your own breath. And if you want to hear your own breath, just put your finger up to your nose and hear it. We didn't hear those things before, but now we're tuned in. We're in the moment. We're not in the trauma. This is so important. When people get into an argument, I do a lot of relationship coaching and things like that. How do you stop the spirals? How do you stop people from ruminating and looping around? And see, this is so crucial to do this on a regular basis. It's just as important as drinking water.
Yeah.
It's just as important, if not more. And here's why. Because when we have a negative looping experience, we're ruminating about something, we're worrying about finances, a relationship, a thought, anxiety, free-floating anxiety, or trauma. What we're doing, if we don't move it out of that and do one of these exercises, including the breathing, because you can start with that and then go into one of those other ones. The reason it's so important is because you don't want to keep burning in a negative neuro pathway.
Oh my goodness. All right. There's so much there. I want to talk about, thank you so much for that, because I think it's going to be so helpful. This episode will air 2 weeks before Christmas, 3 weeks before the end of another year. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how fast time is going for me, particularly, but a great time for us to get this message out there to people, because the holidays can be very tough, especially for military families, if their loved ones are deployed. If they've lost a loved one, I mean, and condolences for your loss. February is a tough month for me too. My daughter's best friend was 13 and passed away in February. So from what nobody ever defined it as a suicide, but the signs were there, which is really sad, of being 13. And the closest I ever wanted to come to losing my own daughter. So, wow. I'm gonna get teared now.
I'm
Okay.
very sorry.
But the holidays are tough.
Now would be a perfect time,
right?
just
I
to
gotta do my
pause.
breathing. My
That's important, because you know what?
Yes.
It takes 90 seconds to allow an emotion to pass through us.
right? Yeah.
Otherwise, it sits in our body.
Yes.
90
Yes.
seconds.
Wow.
You can still feel the feeling, but you have some detachment from it.
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
really important. So then you don't experience the negative effects.
Right. Yeah. So awesome. Well, this is amazing, Belle-Lyssa. This is just amazing, and I'm so happy and it was meant to be. That unfortunately, we couldn't get Mr. Curtis to be on. He was so busy. So tell us about the Veterans Hall of Fame and the work that they do there.
Yes, the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame. They have been in existence for 8 years. We are proud to be a nonprofit that has been recognized even by Amazon as having the highest in the world. 2 years ago, 95% of the proceeds of what we raise goes directly to the veterans.
Nice.
We have a mission right now, currently, that everyone listening, I encourage you to check out our website.
Yes.
And we are on a mission to raise $1 million. We want to raise awareness to help with homelessness and veteran suicide. Let me share with you an astounding statistic. There are more than 50,000 veterans that are homeless.
Wow.
And there are over 20 veterans or more that lose the battle to suicide every day.
Yeah.
The message that I have for people, check in on people. Instead of asking them a bunch of questions and how you are doing, which, by the way, that question right there can shut somebody down, because sometimes it's really, people struggle.
Sure.
To even answer that question.
Yeah.
Just being with someone, if you know somebody's been through a difficult time,
Right.
just show up. Give them a meal. Let them know that they are not alone. Developing a rapport and connecting, going for a walk, just reaching out to them.
Yeah.
The more touch points, sometimes it takes 7 or 8 touch points to connect with someone to get them to open up. It is so important. And people don't realize that many veterans, out of the 50,000, they are just one loss of a paycheck away from missing the rent, mortgage payment, utilities cut off, car payment. So our proceeds go directly to helping veterans get on their feet, helping them so that they can identify how we can get them resources and help. Maybe they're owed veterans funds. Maybe they can get some career placement. But if they're not able to get their basic needs met, know where they're going to sleep and eat,
Yep.
they can't think.
Can't think. No.
Brother Curtis and Colonel Brother Frederick have put their own boots on the ground, and they have gone to search for veterans on their own time.
Wow.
And found them who are homeless and put them up in a hotel for up to 30 days.
Wow.
And after 3 days of them getting sleep and meal, and they give them meals, they pay for the meals. This is where our funds go. They pay for them to get meals. And after 3 days, they sit with them and they help them get a job, help them get on their feet. That's care. That's what America needs to be. This is what will make America great again.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we are unfortunately out of time. I would love to, and everybody go to the website. Please learn about the U.S. Veterans Hall of Fame, doing absolutely brilliant work, obviously, what Belle-Lyssa just told us about. So please do that. It is true that, people can get caught up in their own mind. And if you even just coming by to get them out of that head, space for a couple of minutes, like you said, can reset them to be thinking about other things and be thinking about being able to get and having their basic needs met. I mean, that's so important. So thank you so much for talking about that. Close us out with your best, your advice for everyone at the holidays, starting a new year. What would you tell us?
We become what we think about. So my first thing is think about what you want, not what you don't want. Catch yourself.
Yes.
What commercial, what intentions, what do you want to say to yourself? Because the things you're saying to yourself are the things that are going to happen in your life. Yes. You want good things to happen, think good things. Yes. And never, ever, ever run out of hope. And if you're feeling low on hope, please reach out and let someone know that you are it takes all the strength in the world for someone to reach out.
Yeah.
And maybe let someone know you're having a tough time. Yep. And maybe you just need them to be with you. You don't need them to fix it. Right. I think people don't realize. I would give people the advice of the most important takeaway here is that we don't have to fix it. We have to show up. Yeah. But during the season and every day, being able to just listen instead of telling. And finding out what's really going on. Yeah. That would be my advice for everyone.
Thank you. That brilliant mic drop. That's so very poignant and just inspirational. So thank you so much for that. All right, we're out of time. Listeners, please follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe to our YouTube channel so that we can continue to tell more of these great stories and all of the great work that people like Belle-Lyssa and Curtis are doing out in the world, ascending beyond barriers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Robyn.